Welcome to Project-Based Learning, Lesson 102.3, how to include native assets in a Cardano transaction. So first, let's talk about prerequisites for this lesson. Before starting this lesson, what happened, I minted this PPBL token and this Plutus scaffold token, and then I send them to my CLI wallet. You can read about this in this text, and then there are links that will show you how to do this, especially here and here. So let me go ahead and check our prerequisites here. So I started the Demeter environment and opened it here. So let's populate our scratchpad with the useful commands. We will use Cardano CLI version. So let's check the version. Checks out. And then we will query the tip to see if Cardano node is working. Indeed. And the last thing to check, which went actually here above, is to check if we completed the previous steps, correctly. So if we input this command in the shell here, it will read the wallet address and it will tell me that here is a UTXO which contains 500,000 of this token and one of this token. We can see here. So let's maybe check if it's the right token. So if I go to assets here and check policy ID, and here 5E74, and it ends with FE, and it ends with FE as well, yeah. So this is our scaffold token, and I suppose this one is the token that I minted in the lesson before. Let's go ahead with our lesson content. So we completed the prerequisites. Our version checks out and our node is working. Let's populate the scratchpad with useful stuff. TX in, TX. So we have to fill 5 of these values. So I suppose the sender will be this address. And the receiver, I suppose, will be the original wallet where it came from. So we go here, receive, and add it here. Let's check it with a lesson. TX in, TX in tokens. Let's talk about this more in detail right now, after we check that everything is correct with our addresses. Receiver, let's send some scaffold tokens back to your wallet browser. Exactly. So my wallet browser, and so in my receiver I added my wallet browser, and so the sender will be the CLI wallet, which is the address for which I got using this command. So the key is already set. Let's talk about TX in tokens and asset ID. So first, let's go back and see how we got our query UTXO command, so that we can see that our UTXOs in the CLI wallet. Okay. So let's talk about TX in. So we have this picture in front of our eyes, and notice it's a list of 3 UTXO. Only UTXO that has Lovelace. So let's go here and see. Lovelace datum, Lovelace datum. Okay, I think this UTXO will do for the TX in. And don't forget to add it in its index. Next, TX in tokens. So this is the UTXO for sure, because it's the only one that contains any tokens. And its index is 0, I suppose. Now asset ID. Asset ID is supposed to be, I think, this thing. So let's see. Select UTXO that has scaffold tokens. That's what we did. Let's go to Cardano scan and choose the pre-prod network and get this asset, this UTXO there, to examine it in more detail. So transaction details. Oops. Okay, but we already set the UTXO. Okay, fair enough. We don't need this at the moment, because what we need is the asset ID, which is, we double checked before, right? Here is 500,000, so we can paste it, copy and paste it from here. And this is asset ID. Fair enough. So we have all the 5 variables, 6 variables that we need to complete this transaction. Let's see if it checks. And before we do that, let's first input our variables in, so that we don't have to scroll multiple lines. Okay. And now we need to input this transaction in our command line, like so. And we get the estimated transaction fee. Let's see. It's a little bit different from what we expect, but not as much. Here is some discussion of why that is a difference. So let's sign this transaction and send it. Okay, signed. And now let's submit the transaction on chain. Transaction successfully submitted. Let's go 12 scaffold tokens. Okay, we missed it somewhere. There was only 12. Meanwhile, maybe it makes sense to check the transaction on the Cardano scan thing. Oh yeah, here we see 8 seconds ago 12 scaffold tokens and some TADA. That is all. Congratulations. So these are additional things to keep in mind about building the transaction, and some errors that you can encounter. As of now, thanks for watching and see you next time.